Hi, Johan Mouton here. Welcome to LinkedIn Made Easy. I'm going to be your guide, your trainer, specifically in this course, and we're going to cover a lot of functionality and insights into LinkedIn. Now, what we need to understand is not everyone is on the same level when it comes to LinkedIn. We're going to start with the basics and then we're going to work towards some more advanced items. And in life, everything seems obvious until someone shows you how. So many of the things we're going to cover will be known to you, and some of the things will be new, and you'll get new insights. I will not ask you to share your profile with us. I'm going to share my own profile, and we're going to look at it, and we're going to see what it entails and how it works. At the end of the course, the aim is that you will be able to use LinkedIn more effectively and specifically to use it as a business, networking, and sales tool for the rest of your life, because LinkedIn really is here to stay. They've got 461 million users and is the number one social media business networking tool out there. So what will we cover? The first thing that we'll cover is your profile. It is the starting point, and we'll go into more details about what that entails. Your connections. This is a social networking platform, so connections is a big part of using LinkedIn. Ideal prospects. We'll also look into the searches one. There will be groups that will talk about how to create your own group and joining and managing that as well. Business pages, as well as paid marketing. Now, very important, when you look at these systems, they do updates from time to time. LinkedIn recently did a major update. So sometimes what we see is not necessarily what you'll see. So we need to understand that these systems do update. What is critical is the understanding of the principles as well as the usage of the system. And we're going to use my LinkedIn profile. I'm not sure who and what all is going to pop up, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. And I'm so glad that you're here. And we're going to be exploring LinkedIn today for you. Now, the question is, where did it all start for me? And it started when my mentor showed me this advertisement. And this advertisement is one from McGraw and Hill, and it's known as the man in the chair. And this has been hailed as one of the best business to business advertisements of all time. McGraw and Hill in 1959 put this advertisement in their publications, and the aim was to get people to advertise with them. Now, the 50s was a lot different compared to today. People were reading newspapers, the radio was something people sat around as a family to listen to. So those times were a bit different compared to today. But as we mentioned, it is about the principle more than anything else. So in this advertisement, they went and it reads, it says, I don't know who you are, don't know your company, I don't know your company's product, I don't know what your company stands for, I don't know your company's customers, I don't know your company's record, I don't know your company's reputation. Now, what was it you wanted to sell me? And then I've got a moral. And the moral of sales is this. Sales start before your salesman calls with business publication advertising. So their aim was really to say, well, if you advertise with us, you're going to get better exposure in the market. So when the salespeople phone, that they'll know about you. The internet today is very similar. In 2009, they recreated this advertisement, and what they did was they actually put it for us up on YouTube. Now, guys, what's very important is this was done in 2009, and we're now a couple of years later. So the impact of this really starts hitting home. So let's go look at this. I'm going to go to that screen, This is the video. I'm going to play it for you quickly.
I don't know who you are. I don't know your company. I don't know your company's product. I don't know what your company stands for. I don't know your company's customers. I don't know your company's record. I don't know your company's reputation. Now, what was it you wanted to sell me?
There you go. Yeah, John, I'm looking for him on LinkedIn. I don't see him anywhere. Let me put you on hold. He's on the other line. Yeah, so I got your proposal, but I don't know who you are. Gotta put you on hold. Be right back. Yeah, John, you find anything more on these guys? Really? Okay. Later. Yeah, so as I was saying, I got your proposal, but I don't really know your company. I didn't see much about you on Google. Your website is totally thin. I looked for you on LinkedIn, no luck. But someone in my online community seems to think of you as a third-tier player. And I see an ex-employee out there is doing some pretty nasty blogging about your CEO. Now, what was it you wanted to sell me?
So guys, as you can see, the fundamentals really don't change. The platforms and technology, that does. So if we have to get back to this one. So that's the man in the chair from McGraw-Hill and the recreation they did. And this was 2009. And the recording of today, we had 2017. What we need to understand about social networks is that there's a specific difference between the two big ones, which is the Facebooks and the LinkedIn. The social networks is not the place that you're going to sell. The social network really is just a handshake. Now, in the course that we do, this is the point where we start shaking each other's hands. And that's what happens on the social networking sites. Now, a good way to explain the difference between LinkedIn and Facebook is to say Facebook is like a braai, where people get together, they have a couple of drinks, a couple of jokes that's maybe below the belt. On LinkedIn is a different story. LinkedIn is like a cocktail party. It's where people are dressed up and they act a little bit more professionally. But here's the thing, you don't do business at either one of this. What you do is you say, I'll contact you afterwards for in-person consultation. So the aim of the game is to find the people on the different platform and then take them to your website or to another page or a video, but to take them away from that conversation and talk to them then. I did voice coaching at a voice clinic long ago. It was about 12, 15 years ago, so it's been a while. And one of the exercises we had to do there was quite interesting. They had us huddle around in groups. And this was long before the Facebooks of the world were there. And we huddled in these groups, and she said to us, there's one major aim. And the aim is to get people away from the groups. Now, what we didn't know is she had a trick up her sleeve. We stood in the groups and we chatted, and what she did was she came around and whispered something into everybody's ear. And this is what she whispered. She said, hey, there's a beer tent with free beer next door, but you need to go there now. And she whispered that into everybody's ears. Lo and behold, every person left that group and went to look for the free beer. When we look at and think about and consider social network sites, it is exactly the same principle. They are there in a specific group, and the aim of the game for us is to entice them to give them the free beer, if you like, in this case, to go to your website or have a consultation or have a discussion on the telephone. The most important and most critical element on LinkedIn is your profile. So the first step we're going to look at today specifically is your profile. Now, I've got a picture here of two guys, and the one on the left and the one on the right. And if I had to ask you, if you were thinking about a personal trainer, who will you go for? The guy on the left or guy on the right? Now, when we do these seminars, the people laugh and they say, do you know what? If I'm looking for a guy to help me with a braai, I'm going to go with the guy on the right-hand side. He looks like he'll be a champion when it comes to braaiing. But if I want to get fit, if I want to get serious about my health, the guy on the left portrays the right image. On LinkedIn, it is exactly the same. What we need to do is look with new, fresh eyes at our profile. And we need to look at it and say, but what is this communicating when people look at our own profile? When you look at your profile and when clients look at your profile, are they finding what they're looking for? There are really two ways to look at your profile. The first one is to say, well, be the expert. So if you want to go to a doctor and you've got some serious challenges and maybe you need some brain surgery, will you go to a local GP or will you go to a brain doctor? The choice is obvious. You'll go to the brain doctor. You're looking for the expert. Your LinkedIn profile needs to be the same. It needs to show that you are the expert. That then begs the question, what will your ideal client be looking for if they're looking for an expert? Think about that. What do they want to see? What's the qualifications? What's the experience? What are the things that they will be looking for specifically? You need to show your expertise, and that will build trust. Like I mentioned, this is just a handshake, getting a yes to my contact and not to get an outright no from the get-go. And I'll show you a couple of these insights that we've had, and let's call it tricks and best practices on your profile. The next question then is to say, but who is your ideal client? Who is that person that you want to attract when working on LinkedIn? That's the first one. The second one to consider is, but who is my ideal connection? The ideal connection is the person that could put me in contact with my ideal client. And then a third one is, who's your ideal partner? Without defining this, it will be difficult and hard to update your profile. So take some time, spend some energy, and think about and write down who your ideal client is, your ideal connection, as well as your ideal partner.